Well, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Douville coming to you from beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. It is December 1st, 2020, and Tatum and I are again in the West USA studios bringing you another Creating Real Estate Wealth webinar. Now, Tatum will be monitoring this. If you have any questions at all, you're welcome to go into this screen and type them into the right-hand corner of the form. And if we get a chance to answer this during the production, we certainly will. If not, keep in mind we have a podcast that we do every Saturday. You're welcome to go into West USA Realty podcast on the internet. Type that in. You get a couple different options with which to listen, and we answer questions on Saturday that come in because people oftentimes will send us questions during the week pertaining to this production. So if that happens, we'll be more than happy to do that. And also, we do a little recap on Saturday as well. So that's another option for you. I also want to thank West USA for allowing me to use this platform with which to give back to the industry that has just been absolutely terrific to my family and I. And as you know, I'm the author of How to Create a Real Estate Money Machine and Retire with Income. That's my mission for you, is to help you design and build and buy your own real estate money machine so that you can retire anytime that you want. Remember that retirement is a financial decision, not an age. And we're here to help you develop that program for yourself so that you've got a great retirement plan, that you can actualize your life, that you can do all those things that just make your world good. We want to be better and to help your clients. This is just a great way for you to improve your business and help your clients as well. So you're kind of my force multipliers. If I help you, you're going to go out and help others, and that's just the way this works. Now, we've been talking about the different trends that we have here in the United States, and of course how that affects here in Arizona. We're going to be talking about negotiating with knowledge next week. So that's kind of a negotiating tool. We're going to talk about that next week. This week, we're going to start talking about our universe of homes. So how do we decide what homes to buy and what's going to work? Because here is the saying I want you to keep in mind, is that all homes will rent, but not all homes are good rentals. And we're here because we have a method and a strategy with which to decide what are good homes and what are great homes for rentals, so that it will improve your return on investment for yourself and just magnify the returns that you're going to get. Now, we're going to start into the universe of homes, but before we do, I have a couple of housekeeping questions that keep popping up. All week long, I've had, as you know, I do a lot of, I follow the economy pretty strongly. I talk with a lot of advisors. I'm here to tell you that this morning, the Purchaser Manufacturing Index came out this morning at 57.5. That is a very, very strong reading. Now, it is down a little bit from last month at 59.1. But still very, very strong. It's showing that manufacturing and industrials are doing very, very well. And the economy is on track and recovering. This is like the 7th month in a row of expanding economy. Now, I know it doesn't necessarily feel like we are recovering on some industries. If you're in the restaurant business or in a hospitality business, you're probably struggling a little bit. But manufacturing, mining, construction is doing incredibly well. If you just look around here in Maricopa County, we have cranes and bulldozers and people scraping lots and building and putting things in. In Phoenix, we've just received Taiwan Semiconductor is starting to build their plant. We've got the Nationwide Insurance has come here. Zoom has come here. We just have a litany. We just got the F-35. So it's so vibrant here, and those industries are doing very, very well, and it looks like they're going to continue. Now, if we look into the future, and we can look really a couple quarters pretty easily, I see no problems whatsoever. The economy is on track, doing very, very well. Now, that's not to say that we can't have something that happens. This is kind of we had a catalyst come along with this virus that could throw us off. But at this point in this juncture, we look like we're doing very, very well. I'm very, very pleased with the way this is. And we keep talking about the fact that we probably will have another 12 to 18 months of recovery, and then we'll be recovered. Now, we have had the central banks around the world have put $13 trillion in liquidity into the economy in the last 7 months. That is working its way through the economy, and it'll be getting down into Main Street within about 12 months. And that is really when we're really going to start seeing things really start humming. So unless something really weird happens, we're just looking really strong. I'm very, very pleased with the way this is unfolding. And I would say you should take a look at this, talk to your advisors, and see how this can benefit you, because I think that we're doing just fine. It's just going to get better and better. And here's an aside too, talking about the hospitality industry. Those that are doing vacation rentals are doing very, very well. One wouldn't think that, but those people that are traveling would rather be in a condo rather than a hotel room, and they'd rather be in a residential area so that they have a little more space and they can cook and they can walk around and they're in a neighborhood rather than in a hotel where maybe the bar and the restaurant are closed down. So it's just become a very, very strong market again. So things are doing very, very well. Now, one other thing I needed to discuss with you is that we're getting to the end of the year. Today's December 1st. You need to think about your qualified plans. And I'm talking about your IRA and a 401k. Now, you don't necessarily need to fund them yet, but you should really be thinking about putting one together. If you don't have one now, you should give me a call during the week, and let's talk about what we can do to get one going for you. Now, if you're able to put a IRA together for yourself, you can get a Roth IRA. There's several different options for yourself. This is just a great way for you to save money and to build for the future. Now, we're in the real estate business, so most of us are going to qualify for a solo 401k, which allows you to put more money away into your IRA or into your qualified plans than what you could in an IRA, because you have both the employer and the employee benefits for matching funds. And you can, if you get to be 50 or 55 years old, you can start getting even more contributions. So you can get upwards where you're looking at $50,000 or $60,000. And we've had a very, very good year this year. Most of you should have done very, very well. And you should have excess funds. These excess funds, you should really start thinking about putting them into a qualified plan. If you made $150,000, you're 55 years old, you need to talk to your financial advisor, of course. You talk to your plan holders, but very good possibility you can put $50,000 away. So that would reduce your income from 150 to 100, and you'd save all that income tax on that $50,000. It's just like finding money. Same with an IRA. You should be doing this each and every year, each and every month. You should be putting money into your qualified plan. It is just literally like finding money. If you're in a 30% tax bracket and you save $10,000, that's just like finding $3,000 on that 10 grand, because you're going to get a 30% return because you're not paying tax on it. And then it's going to grow tax-free until you decide you want to start taking it out at 59.5 or whatever it is, at 70.5, wherever you want to be. You have options. Now, we're talking about building a plan outside of a qualified plan. So, we're in the real estate business, but we're not so egotistical to think that we're the only asset you should have. Now, we're going to start talking about our assets and how you can build a money machine outside of these qualified plans that you can use every single day. And this is going to help bring in cash to you. So we eventually want to build where you're getting more 1099 money that's going to replace your general business. So here in Maricopa County, if you have 10 free and clear properties, you're going to be getting $120,000 to $150,000 every year after everyone gets paid. That's including a property manager, so that you can go and walk the Great Wall of China. You can learn to cook in France, and you don't have to worry about taking care of the properties because you're going to hire someone. We've already included that in your returns, and that's what we're here to do. So if you have questions, you're welcome to send it to us. If you want to get together with me and talk about how you can get involved, you're welcome to call to the corporate, or you can email me at michael@michaeldeville.com. I'm more than happy to do this. This is my giving back to you. I've had a wonderful, wonderful life. I'm giving it back to you. Now let's talk about today's topic. We're going to start talking about the universe of homes. Now, a universal home, what is your personal investment universe? What investment parameters should you, the investor, consider? And what is your personal universe of homes? So what are we talking about when we start talking about that? First off, what is your personal universe of homes? We've talked about that there are several marketing segments that you can be involved in. I just mentioned the fact that you can get into vacation rentals, which have been very, very strong. That's kind of a complete market all by itself. It's almost in the hospitality industry. But that's a market you can look at for furnished rentals. What a great market. If this is something that you'd like, this is maybe a segment that you should think. We also have student housing. We've got all kinds of universities. Here we are in Maricopa County. We got ASU, we've got GCU. We've got such great universities here and people coming here to learn. They need a place to live. This is another segment of housing. Same with people that are senior housing and elder housing. We love that. You know, it's just a different segment. There are all kinds of sub-markets for you to consider. We never, ever want to step on anybody's toes. We're not going to exclude anyone, so you always have to make sure that you're not violating any HUD agreements or any fair housing agreements. And keep in mind that not only is it illegal for us to discriminate against everyone, it's terrible business. If someone wants to rent one of our properties, we're certainly going to allow them to do that. I mean, why would we exclude anybody? So we have certain segments. So you just need to decide, what segment am I working in? What is my niche? What's my target market for this? Once you've decided that, what are your investment properties you should consider? Now, I'm going to tell you there's just tons and tons of things for you to consider. I personally like families. I find that families seem to put down roots and they will stay there for a very long time. So once you have a family, well, people start getting involved in the neighborhood. They get involved in church. They get involved in civic organizations. Kids go to school. They get involved in sports and choir and dance and soccer. And our investment property becomes their home, and they'll stay very, very long time. That's just a niche I think is great. I also like this theme, is that backyards are the future gold mines. Because as we get more and more population coming here, we're going to have smaller and smaller lots. So having a backyard where the kids can put a swing set or a sandbox, or they can throw a ball, this is going to be something that's going to be a luxury. So the more of these that you have, the better off you're going to be. Just a thought for marketing for you. Now, these are things that you should just consider for yourself. We've talked about the different trends that are going on in Arizona. So we've talked about the fact we've got national trends that are favoring Arizona. We talked about local trends that are favoring Phoenix and Phoenix metropolitan area and Maricopa County. We've talked about the trends within Maricopa County. So we've got 8 or 9 or 10 different vectors that are doing incredibly well and where you might want to place your properties. And now we're talking about a universe of homes for purchase. Now, let's talk about what is a universe of homes. Back to our theme that every home will rent, but not every home is a great rental. Now, the strategy is to buy one property a year every year. So that gives you a lot of time to find the really, really good property for yourself. You're going to find that some of these work a lot better than others. You're going to find that one segment, if you're looking for, say, a family, and you find that you're looking for a certain area. Now that area for families for my segment needs to have good transportation, good amenities, like it needs to have grocery stores and theaters and banking and transportation. It needs to have good schools, and it needs to be well located in the growth corridor of Maricopa County. That's what that needs to do. It also needs to give me a return on investment. Now that's very, very price and return subject to it. So I need to make sure that a property gives me as much, it maximizes the rent, and make sure that I get the regional benchmark. Now, the regional benchmark here in Maricopa County has for several years been 4.5% cap rate after everybody is paid. That is including your property manager, your vacancy factor. We're talking about a repair escrow. So those things that an investor is going to incur, we try to put that in. So not all properties are going to work that. Once you've found a group of homes that work, then you start buying in there, and it becomes your universe of homes. When a property then becomes available, you know I've already owned a property. If I look at a property that's along the 303 corridor, you know they were built in 2004. The roof is probably good for 25 years, so roofing's not going to be a problem. You know that the AC is probably still original, good for another 20, good for probably 20 years. So I probably have 4 or 5 years. So we need to start thinking that is going to need a air conditioner somewhere along. So you know in your universe of homes what the properties are going to rent for. You know what kind of repair escrows are going to be coming on down line. You know what your target market is. You know what the rents are in that neighborhood. You know what the issues with the properties would be, and you know what kind of growth that you're experiencing. So this becomes something that you already know. You're experienced with it. You've got knowledge of this. You can, when your property comes available like that, that's a suitable rental, it kind of lets you know automatically that this property will probably work. Now, I have about 30 universes of homes in the North Valley because that's where most of my rentals are. When I see these properties come up for sale, I know that property is in my universe of homes and how that's going to work. Now, each one of these properties is sold in a range. Now, a lot of these properties, if they're sold from 280 to about 330, if you see one that comes on the market for 289.9, you know that that's at the bottom of the range. That then should pique your interest. You should start thinking this is a very good buy. Properties are mispriced every single day in our marketplace. Every single day, properties get mispriced. If you get a mispriced property in one of your universe of homes, you know that property is come available and it becomes a very, very good buy for you and your clients. So it's just paying attention, being aware, and looking at the marketplace in a bunch of segments so that you can scrub your properties. And when I say scrub, again, we go back to all properties will rent, but not all properties are good rentals. We want to do the calculations. We want to make sure that the ROI is there. We want to make sure it's in a growth. And if it fits all those criteria, then that becomes a very good buy. And then we add to our universe of homes that when the property again comes up in that particular subdivision, we know that that's going to fit into our portfolio because we've already done the homework, particularly when we're in a marketplace as fast as what we are now. You sometimes need to make a decision fairly soon. And oftentimes you don't have time to do a lot of research. This way your research is already done for you. Now I'm starting to get a little wordy on this. I want to thank you very much for listening. If you want to explore this more, you're welcome to call me. I'm at the corporate 602-942-4200. You can email me at michael@michaeldeville.com. So next week, we're going to talk about negotiating with knowledge. Now, if you have any comments or you want this flyer that you can send out to your clients, or if you just want it as for a uh, kind of nudge for yourself, a memory nudge, just email us at creatingwealth@westusa.com. If you'd like to get involved with us, send us to creatingwealth@westusa.com. We have a couple more seminars coming up. We have another CE classes coming up. If you'd like to request anything, any questions at all, send it to creatingwealth@westusa.com. Tatum is going to convert this into a YouTube for later this afternoon. You're welcome to use that. You're welcome to send it out to your clients. You're welcome to have this flyer for your clients. If you have any questions, be sure you send it just to me at michael@michaeldeville.com or creatingwealth@westusa.com. So I want to thank you very, very much for listening to me. If I could ever help you, just be sure you give me a call. My very best to you. Bye-bye now.